and welcome to another microsurgical endo tutorial. My name is Alan Issa, and I have a quick case of a maxillary first molar, tooth number 3, that was referred for an apicoectomy. During the diagnosis and examination, it was found that the periapical lesion was confined only to the apex of the mesiobuccal root. Usually when you see a periapical lesion around the mesiobuccal root of a maxillary first molar, you can pretty much be assured that the cause of failure is due to a missed MB2 canal. And in these situations, an apicoectomy is really not the best option, because by placing a 2 or 3 millimeter retrofilling at the apex of a missed canal, you are obviously still keeping all of the bacteria that's in the entire length of the canal in the tooth. So in these situations, it's always best to retreat first, and in the unlikely event that the retreatment does not work, it would be to then do the apico at that time. In this case, because the patient was very adamant about keeping the crown, and the crown wasn't really all that old, although the coronal aspect of the occlusal surface was worn out and some parts of the metal were showing, the patient was interested in keeping it. And as a result, we decided to make a very tiny microsurgical access that exposed only the MB1, MB2, and the distal buccal, which was also short, but did not seem to have a significant lesion, and then skipped the palatal root. We skipped the palatal root as a strategic decision because it didn't have really a lesion associated with it radiographically, and leaving the crown the way it is, and the tooth not requiring a new crown, if in the unlikely event that in the future there was going to be a problem, we could always re-access through the access opening and then extend it to include the palatal root. So I made an access opening through the top of the tooth and exposed the MB1 and found the MB2 with the aid of the microscope. As usual, a little bit more, about 2 millimeter lingual and somewhat mesial to that root.